Right, what are my thoughts on Prince's album Parade? What's going on, ladies and gents in Cyberland? Coming at you with another album review. Prince's Parade. So, this album was based around like a movie which I have never seen. I'm just basing this review on the music, and it's kind of like intertwined with the movie. I guess Prince was trying to do another Purple Rain kind of thing, because I guess, he wanted to do that. But then on top of that, Around the World in a Day didn't do too well musically for a lot of people, so he was putting out some more music again, kind of thing. There wasn't anything I didn't like about the album. However, right away, I got Sgt. Pepper vibes from it. As the album started, it felt like a rendition of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, and that's not a bad thing. I just got those vibes from it when I was listening to it. It's crazy, or it's interesting too, because the hit song from this album was "Kiss," but it's one of those things where it's like, huh? Like, Kiss low key doesn't really fit on this album. Almost like I don't. It didn't. I can't even say Kiss fit on. Purple Rain, Around the World in a Day, or even the album after this. It just is there. So it doesn't. There wasn't any songs that really worked with it. Kind of. It was in its own corner kind of thing. The album did feel like very similar to Around the World in a Day to an extent. Nothing explicit, nothing raunchy on it. For the most part, like, we don't have another Darling Nikki or anything like that right now. However, the album felt disjointed to me. It also felt like Prince didn't fully have the greatest direction with the music at this point for the album. And it kind of makes sense, because this is kind of the time of where the revolution is breaking up, or there's problems going on with that Prince was, at least from what I've read and what has been stated, because Prince, I guess, his view was that he wanted to move on to different things and didn't want to keep utilizing the revolution anymore, and the revolution was like Prince was being a dick. And on top of that, they weren't cool with the musical direction he was heading, but I can kind of see why Prince was doing that, because Prince saw the writing on the wall. He already knew that musical era was pretty much dying. The era of controversy and 1999 and Purple Rain, that era was phasing out. A lot of the people that were playing music that was very similar to that were not, Prince was one of the few that was still lasting and had made a bunch of albums at that point. A lot of these other groups were pretty much phasing out. I mean, hip hop was already starting to make a wave, and it was one of those. And then don't forget, rock was doing its thing, but the dance, feeling, and the rock with it, that was kind of starting to branch more into 80s pop and really just new wave without the guitars. And if there were the guitars, it was being more done in a way like what U2 was doing, or Depeche Mode kind of thing. It wasn't like that scene that Prince had done. It kind of had run its course for the public, I guess. And I think Prince was just kind of like, what's the point of having the revolution around anymore if we're not going to perform this type of music, because the public is no longer interested in hearing this type of music. It's not the thing that people want to listen to. So I guess Prince was kind of like, it's time to do something different, and that meant that those band members, the Revolution wasn't going to have a part in it. That's one way to look at it. Or he didn't want them to have a part in what he was going to do moving forward, I guess you could say. My rating for the album, I would give it 8 out of 10, and the reason the songs are not that memorable, but I'd give it an 8 out of 10 because the amount of effort, the amount of time, the way of crafting the songs to flow with each other, unlike Around the World in a Day, it works. It's just the songs are, they're not memorable, but as a cohesive album, they work very well together, and that's why I give it an 8 out of 10. Top 5 tracks, Life Can Be So Nice, Kiss, Mountains, Another Lover, Hole in Your Head. Sometimes It Snows in April. And again, I can't say that if you like Kiss, listen to this album, because Kiss, even though it's not my favorite song on the album, it's really separate from the rest of the album. It's almost like the album was done and Kiss was just added at the last minute, because it doesn't feel like it fits with the album. It just doesn't. It really doesn't. Oh, the other thing, Prince's attire had really changed too. He was no longer the Purple Rain get up, that whole type of way he dressed was completely done with. He wasn't doing that anymore. His attire had completely changed too. And I guess maybe he felt like only he can do it, that it's going to look good on him, whereas the other members, not so much. Whatever. I don't have an opinion on it. It's just an observation of maybe what occurred. I would say this is a hard one to say. This is a hard one. It's it's a hit or miss. If you don't listen to it, I don't feel you're missing out on anything. But if you want to get a different perspective of what was going on during that era, you could also listen. You could listen to it. That's kind of how I would look at it. It's not a bad album. It's just it's like Around the World in a Day, but in a Sgt. Pepper kind of format. It just, it's just there, And if you just want to have an idea of that era, then listen to it. I don't feel, and again, 8 out of 10, I don't feel it's a bad piece of work. It's just music that was pumped out. And maybe if you watch the film, it goes hand in hand better. Maybe that's what it is, because I haven't watched the film and I have no interest in watching the film. I think the whole film was black and white too. So, but nonetheless, that being said, cue the music.